Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Marshall Jacob. I'm a math instructor. I've been teaching math for the past 15 years. So I want to teach us today, or I want to share with us today how we can teach long division best. I discovered that long division has been a challenging topic to students. Students find it difficult to comprehend the concept of long division. Teaching long division effectively requires breaking down the process into steps, providing ample practice, and using various instructional methods to accommodate different learning styles. First, the student need to have a solid understanding of basic arithmetic, including multiplication, divisions, simple division, I guess to say, subtraction, and place value. Place value is very essential because it is key when it comes to long division. Secondly, we need to begin with a simple overview of what long division is, why it is useful, use concrete example to show real world application of long division. Most teachers today doesn't actually make an overview of a topic they want to teach. Somebody will ask me, how can I divide quadratic equation? There are definitions for quadratic equation. There are also definitions for long division. You need to define the concept for students to understand. Most time when I start my math class, no matter what topic, I have to define it intentionally. Why I'm saying intentionally, that you need to know your student, you need to give them information that they understand. Don't give the information from a textbook. You need to process. The textbook are always there as guide, but you are the master of your class. You understand your student better, and you should be able to know the concept, best way to explain a concept to your children. So defining long division is key. When you define it, the student will be able to understand and be able to use the long division in their own way. For instance, if you have a word problem about the long division, you bring your student out, you solve it with them, and actually go back to the long division. And when the answers tally, they will actually say, oh, long division is actually a word problem solver. So they will be able to appreciate it. But when they don't know, when they don't have the benefits of what it is, they will not enjoy it. So I believe that we should always learn how to introduce the concept properly. Introduction of the concept is very key when it comes to long division. Now also we have terminologies that need to be defined properly. Define the term dividends, define the term divisor, define quotient, define remainder. Make sure students understand the rule each in the division process. So they need to understand what the dividend is, what the divisor is, and they need to know the rule, how they played. So whenever they are solving long division, they will be able to see these terms in actions, and they will appreciate solving it, because sometimes this remainder always affects the student because they normally get confused, because division process is all about remainder. Because when you pick the first term, maybe you are taking a 4-digit number, for you to go to the second time, you use the remainder after you have divided, you see. So the remainder process, the remainder concept need to be instilled on the student for them to understand better. Fourthly, we need to explain division step by step. On the research I carry shows that students are familiar with long division, but what happens whenever they are solving long division is that they always get stuck by a particular point, and that point tells me that they don't understand the concept at that point properly. So that means that we need to break down step by step. Sometimes when we are teaching as teachers, we always assume that, oh, this concept is not 1 plus 1. No, you need to tell them, because 1 plus 1 in addition is different from 1 plus 1 in division. Although they may have similar answer, but the approach may be different. So we need to really explain it in detail to them, especially when we are enforcing or when we are introducing the lesson. Even though when we are enforcing the lesson, it's very essential that we stick to the step-by-step approach. That will make the student to understand the concept better. And the importance of maintaining the alignment and following a systematic approach is very, very important, because sometimes they skip a particular step, and when that happens, they get stuck. Okay, so it's very, very important that they understand that the divisor is what stands in front of the long division pattern. Then the dividends is what is inside that shape. When we draw lines where the divisor is front here, then the dividend is inside. So the answer is what you divide. Okay, so they need to understand those concepts. When they understand this concept, it will help them to solve better. The next point is that we need to utilize visual aids such as division chart, grid, line grid, because sometimes we students get to misplace place value. They misplace place value, and they tends to mix up the numbers. So but when you have a line grid, they'll be able to know that this number is in the tens column, this is in the ones column, this is in this place value. They tend to use it properly, and the student will be able to see the relationship between numbers. These numbers are related, this number, they are not related, so they get to see it and be able to work perfectly with the numbers. Now they need to also understand the step more concretely when they see it in the division chart or using the line grid. So you need to actually have this use when you are teaching. It's very, very important, because students get to use what they see and be able to recall whenever they are solving. Now you need to guide the student, walk through several examples, provided guided practice. I could say intentionally, because sometimes we don't expand the concept, the scope of our teaching. Sometimes when you start a lesson, maybe long division, and just throw the concept, it is a different ball game when they are given exercises, because exercises will be more severe, will be more challenging. So we need to also bring those kind of exercises into play while we are teaching. Don't misunderstand me. When you start, you use from simple to complex, fine, but you need to expose the student to the complex part of long division. Don't do it this way, that you give them simple in class, then you send the complex one as homework. It doesn't really help, because homework is a lesson extender, so it should not be a destroyer, because most time homework seems as destroyer, because if you give them what they know already, when they go home they will be happy to solve it, because it's just what they did in class. But when you give them homework that are different from what they did in class, they will be stuck. And remember, we have individual differences. So you need to really understand that concept and be able to guide them. Now, we need to also use hands-on activities, making the lesson more interactive, and games to make long division enjoyable, using manipulative like base 10 blocks or interactive whiteboard for the student to actually touch, navigate through. So that will really make it enjoyable. Yes, one of my training with teachers, I make them to understand that students are playing, they are addicted to random games, because teachers are not providing students with educational games. They are games that can be used to enhance long division, the concept of long division. Get such game, give it to the student, provided it is game, they will appreciate it, they will play with the games. But one thing you'll be achieving is that while they are playing in the game, they'll be getting the concept of what? Long division. So you can't take away play from children. You say, no, you don't play. No, you don't do that. You can't take away play from students. Then use that their strength and be able to guide them for them to be able to. And so you need to have games, you need to have hands-on activity while teaching long division, and the students will be able to appreciate it and be able to enjoy that. Now you need to actually use differentiated instruction. I have a video on differentiated instruction because it's a very wide concept, because these 21st century teachers need to know that we are teaching students the way they learn. We need to teach students the way they learn, not teaching students the way you want to, the different ball game. And again, most time our lessons are in a way that we encourage competition. It's not fair, honestly, because why do we compete when we are not the same? Everybody have individual differences. Why do you tend to make them compete? This guy is high, this is slow, so why do you compete? So it's time for we to know that lessons should be given in a differentiated pattern, because we are uniquely different. Most time my assessment is a collection of information. If I give assessment, I'll be wow with what, because my assessment will be more of critical thinking, and students are to give me a processed information. And sometimes the information student A will give me will totally different from information student B will give me, because of their exposure, because of their different nature. So that is how it should be. So you'll be marking based on what? The concept, not marking based on what they give you, garbage in, garbage out. Just that operating a question from a textbook and put it there, the student have to copy or cram from a textbook and give it back. That is totally not acceptable. In this age, we need to actually make our lesson fun and remember that they are different. And when we give differentiated lesson, we go through the classes, we provide differentiated instruction, providing additional support for the struggling student, which you know already. You will know your student, and that's why I keep saying that teachers understand their student best. And more challenging problem for those who grasp the concept quickly. You see? So you need to, because one thing that is key in that class is that you need to impart the knowledge. The way the knowledge will be used by the student will be totally different, because they are different. And for you to be able to get how they use the knowledge now, for you to give them more critical questions. And when they give you, you now say, oh, you don't be surprised that those ones that you think that are getting challenged in the class, they don't grasp the concept quickly. Sometimes when they are giving you a process information, they give you wonderful information. And that is why we need to always have that in our mind, not to always support competition. Although yes, it's fine, but we should not be competition centered. We should always know that they are not the same, and they cannot give you the same information. Now, the last but not the least is practice. We need to engage students to a lot of long division practice. If a student can be able to answer 100 long division exercises, that will sharpen the concept of long division. But when you just give a student only 5 questions on long division and that is all, he only stuck with that 5 information. Remember, the more you answer more questions on long division, the more you get to be exposed to the concept of long division. So and that is how you will be able to attempt to different questions, even aside from. So what I normally do when I was small, when I was in school, I used general mathematics. You know, in general mathematics we have, in a particular topic, you will have exercises up to 70. The teacher will only give you 5 or 7. What I normally tell myself is that this textbook is for me, Marshall. This textbook is for you. So the author wanted me to answer all the 70 exercises. So I will never leave any exercises undone. So when I do that now, anywhere I see long division, it will be related to one of the questions I've solved already. So that make it easy to me. So that means that when you are exposed to many exercises, it helps students to understand it better. So with this little information I've shared, I believe it will help a lot of us in teaching of long division. Thank you for watching. If you do have a comment or suggestion, you can write it below. Thank you for watching. Do have a wonderful day.